Welcome to Know It's Radio, where we dive deep into the uncharted waters of technology.
Good morning and welcome back to the Morning Express show. Happy New Year to everyone. I'm very excited, first of all, because who is not excited to reach to the new year and to just like wake up na unaenda kazi tu vizuri. I'm super excited. I have my resolutions set ahead for the new year. Let me know what are some of the resolutions that you have for this year. And today I decided, let me just bring you one of the best persons that we had in the year 2024. As we are closing the year ended well with this person, and I decided he just has to come in the show the first day of us coming back to the office. Now, I want to introduce him, but venye ananiangalia, let me just allow him to take this chance and just introduce himself. Let him tell you what he does and who he is.
Good morning. Happy New Year. I hope everybody is safe and happy wherever they are. My name is Geoffrey Gitagia, Group IT Manager for Avenue Healthcare and CIO Africa Award winner for 2024.
Privileged CIO. Africa, the CIO winner 2024. But I'm very privileged to have you here today. Thank you. Very excited. How are you this fantastic morning?
I'm doing well. Sunny morning. The weather is bright, and I'm taking this as an outlook to how the rest of the year will be.
So, do you love sun or rain?
I enjoy all types of weather because without change, you don't get to experience the difference in how the air smells, how the temperature feels on your skin. I think all weather is great weather, if you ask me. So there is no gloomy day, as they say.
I was here thinking to myself that you're going to tell me that you love the sun, because when you started, you're telling us that the fact that we have started the year with sun, it outlines how the entire year is going to be. So I thought the sun was the end goal. But if you say so.
I love the weather, no matter what it brings.
How have you started your year?
So the year has started, can I say, quite energetic. I've been meeting a lot of people. I did not take a break.
You're saying you're meeting a lot of people and we're in day 6 of 2025.
It's what I was explaining. I did not take a break. And even over the weekend, I had a few meetings and very exciting things that are happening, not only for my organization, things that are happening around Kenya, around the world. And I think this is going to be one of those pivotal years in technology, no matter where you are in the world.
So you want to tell me, as I was traveling back to see my grandparents, you are here in Nairobi?
I was here in Nairobi.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I do not have an Ushago where you need 40 minutes or 50 minutes to travel or more. My Ushago is 30 minutes from Nairobi.
What are some of the resolutions that you have for this year?
Resolution for this year, I usually like planning early. So I had a resolution even before I got the CIO award. So I knew what I was getting into 2025. But when I got the award, a few things have changed. And I thought it is nice to elevate some of the agendas that have always been, pet subjects. One of them is making sure that in the tech community, we get the recognitions that some of us deserve, especially the young people. There are a lot of people who are doing some amazing things. The whole of last year, I've met a lot of young people doing some amazing, way out there things in their houses, in the confines of their institutions, but mostly limited by exposure and maybe resources. So most of my conversations with them is how they can get resources to move on to the next level. So I think this is going to be a top agenda for me. How do we enable the upcoming talent?
So you want to tell me that you feel like the people in the tech world are not given their flowers?
I do believe so.
How do you feel like, what are some of the things that can be done for these tech people to be given their flowers?
I think it's more to do with us as the tech people. We are more of a recluse kind of group. And what we don't do a lot is we don't talk about our achievements, our objectives, and technically how to speak to other non-techies. We like huddling in our comfort zone and finding our like-minded people. But it's interesting when you put a techie together with a non-techie and just get them to converse how technology can even impact other industries and watch some of these things even come to fruition. And to me, it's amazing that the young people in every sector have this opportunity now, because I think there are so many platforms for people to collaborate. And I think it's amazing what they can do without the confines of being restricted by either some logistics or some technology that's one group cannot access the other. So I think this is the way we need to look at the industry going forward.
So have you ever had an experience where you've had a conversation with someone who's not a tech person?
Yes, many. In 2024, I did.
How was it? How are they? How do you feel like people are taking the tech thing? The people who are not in the tech space, how are they appreciating technology?
Number one, they have come to realize that technology by itself is, as I can say, just that technology. You need some application to it. And this is what most people are coming to realize. Before it was, we need A, B, C, D. They're treating it like a product. They're not treating it like something that enables them to do something. So the more they've come to realize this, I've seen in my space, doctors trying to do IT degrees, doctors doing coding, doctors doing AI, and they're coming in and saying, look, this is how we need to treat technology. It's not a product. It's something that enables us to achieve more.
How many years have you been in the tech world?
Wow. I would say since high school. I was back in 2000.
Give me that journey.
Originally, I wanted to be a lawyer because very good at learning things and arguing them out. And then around when I was thinking Form 3, that's when we had a computer lab in our school. And I found it very easy for me to navigate the systems and even show my fellow students how to do some of these things on their computers. And after that, I think it was, as I say, the rest is history. It was step after step, discovering new things, discovering what potential there is here. And yeah, I can say I'm still on that journey of discovering.
What was the first job that you ever did?
I was an intern at a college. The college was called Agastana. Mm-hmm. And one of the best experiences I had in that is that as an intern, the college was offering an IT course that I was a first year intern at my school, but I was a first year student at my school. Then I'm interning at a school whereby they're teaching some advanced things. So I get to attend, can I say, free lectures in the name of I'm here to make sure that the computer lab is
it's working.
So you get to learn a lot of things, and I would say that was my first interesting job, whereby I was like, I am learning, and I've actually have a leader who can show me some of the ropes.
But you are an intern.
I was an intern.
So that means you're not paid.
Luckily, I was a paid intern.
Wow. So that was your first salary ever got? I
was the first salary. And after that, that's when I got another internship a year later, when I was in my third year. And that's where my journey with Virtual City began. They were deploying a system.
When actually, sorry to cut you off, but when I was reading that story where you're telling us about Virtual City, you said that you began when you were 18.
18.
Yes. Yes, that's what you said. Okay. Maybe I misunderstood it. You started your career way back.
It's an 18-year-long career.
Okay.
And I think the biggest impact in my career has been Virtual City. As I said, I started when I was in third year. They were deploying a solution for one of the big, not pharmaceuticals, but fast-moving consumer goods companies in Kenya. Mm-hmm. And the solution was basically centralizing their logistics. And it was amazing because that's the first time I saw a digital handheld phone that was a computer. Back then, we used to call them PDA.
Can you remember which year back was that?
That was around 2004.
No comment. So what was your specific role at Virtual City?
I was in charge of deployment. So technically, my role was to ensure that the devices were set up, the data that needed to be inside that device was correct, and it was more of QA and helping the users understand, because the devices were to be handed over to a driver. Now, this driver needed to understand how to operate this device.
So, were you doing the deployment while still teaching the driver what he needs to understand?
Yes.
And how are they taking it?
I learned a good lesson in patience. Luckily, I was raised to respect my elders, so I could not say, you're not understanding, so get out of my office. So I had to take them step by step. And also, it was amazing how some of them really started understanding the technology. Because remember, this time there were no cameras, there were no phone cameras. There were no phones that could connect to the internet. And this
I can only imagine.
This guy figured out, and they can take videos. There was one incident that was actually resolved, whereby the driver took a video of an incident that happened, and that even helped the insurance company resolve who was at fault. It was amazing how they quickly adapted to this, and I was like, okay, I think I'm in the right industry. This is what I need to be seeing more.
How many years were you there?
Virtual City, wow. Virtual City, since then, I can say I left for the oil and gas industry at around 2012. But a year and a half later, I moved back to Virtual City.
Why?
Number one, I went to oil and gas. Talo Oil Kenya. So the work there was, can I say, it was more of a techie of setting up computers, making sure ABCD is working, helping users. And as much as there was a good growth opportunity, and these guys had advanced tech, I went to the Ireland data center. It was amazing, some of the things they were doing. But I looked at it in a broad perspective, and I was still in touch with my Virtual City colleagues. And that's when they were like, okay, we now need to move this to the next level. And we had servers on-prem, so we were to move servers to the cloud. Back then, it was Safaricom doing cloud. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to go back and be part of that. So that was my first cloud experience, and deploying solutions on those Safaricom servers, and I loved it. I felt I'm back to where I wanted to be.
I can only imagine. By that time, were people embracing cloud storage like the way they're doing right now?
No, not really.
And how was it actually? It's something new that has come into the market. And of course, whenever we talk about matters technology, people are always skeptical about it. So how are people embracing it?
The adoption back then was not as big as it is right now. there was no Amazon. So it was still, it is not cloud as we know it right now. It was basically a box, a virtual machine sitting on Safaricom servers. That was basically it. There was no compute and all some of these things, S3 storage going on. It was literally it. A server being hosted at Safaricom, and that's it. But the thing it enabled us to do is scale up, because we were offering solutions to organizations outside our premise, and our internal servers, most of them were really busy doing our dev work, our internal systems, and we saw that the opportunity is to just host them on Safaricom and pass on the cost to the client. And what we were achieving was, number one, good uptime, basically all the benefits you have for the cloud, and you don't have a limit for resources.
Amazing. So after Virtual City, you went to oil and gas, then you came back again to Virtual City. Then where else did you go?
Then I went to Avenue Healthcare.
So that's where your journey in Avenue Healthcare began. 10 years, I cannot
10
say.
years, 2014.
2014.
Yes.
I will still say this again. There must be something good there. That's why you're still there. 10 years is quite a large number. So while you joined the Avenue Healthcare, did you begin as the group IT manager?
Yes, my title was IT manager. The objective back then was, this was a healthcare institution that wanted to use technology. Actually, they had just won an award from Computer Society of Kenya for being technology adaptive organization. And when I got there, they were using some old systems and hardware. And what they really wanted was to just revamp and get the performance they needed out of the system. So when I got there, the IT staffing was one intern and one technician. And I can tell you right now we are a bigger team. And I think the reason why I stayed there I have stayed there for this long is every year there was a new challenge, there was new objective, and the management was supportive, and it was very clear that they were in it to make sure that they achieve what they have set out to achieve. So to me, I say 10 years, but to me, it feels like 4.
What are some of the achievements that you've taken to Avenue Healthcare on your own grounds, the personal
on my own
level?
grounds, number one is the maturity, the digital maturity. We just did an evaluation of our digital maturity, and I can comfortably say we scored quite well on our digital maturity. Number two is appreciation of technology in the organization. I think right now my biggest problem is what we call shadow IT. People who are finding other tools that we have not provided them to do their work. And I have to go and sit down with them and go like, okay, what does this thing do? I know in most organizations, the first approach will be block it, put a policy saying you can't use it. No, I'm curious. I want to know what you're trying to achieve with this and why it's important to you and how it plays out to the rest of the organization. And that's how we literally have grown with the adaptation of IT. The other thing I'm proud of is also the investment that I can say made in IT. The way we operate in Avenue is if we don't need it, we don't buy it. We are very lean. Yeah. So for me, can I say in healthcare, and I'm sure everybody in healthcare understands this, but healthcare, the priority of spending is, first of all, the clinical part. Yeah. And I say in healthcare, it's like you're running 5 organizations in one. So IT is usually very, very at the low end of the budget. But being that we are appreciative of technology, the amount of investment I have, can I say, convinced the management to invest in the organization is something that I'm really proud of, going by what our principles are in terms of spending.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I've never been to Avenue Healthcare as a patient.
Oh, really?
But
I hope it's because you're healthy.
Yes, because I'm healthy. But I think I have been to other hospitals where I have encountered, well, I'm paying through insurance, right? But they have to give you a form first to fill.
Yes.
Like, if we are growing in technology, where are we still using papers to work with?
To let the literal cat out of the bag, but number one, for the insurance part, it's part of the legal process. The courts in Kenya haven't, quote unquote, legalized digital signatures, but I know the government of Kenya is putting in an effort. They have already started authorizing digital signatures vendor, that you can present a digital signature in a court of law and have it stand. So that's one of the reasons. Number two, all insurance, and I'm saying this in all the seriousness, all insurance companies want to get rid of those papers.
Amen.
So, yes, so 2025, quote me, we are going to achieve this, and it's coming in a big way.
Amen. I mean that I'm always so angry about that thing. Why do I have to fill this form? I've been in this hospital the first time, the second time, and it's still the same thing. Generally, what comes to your mind when you hear AI in healthcare?
Let's pull back a bit and talk about AI in general. So AI right now, the trend for 2025 will be something we call AI agents. And AI agents are specialized AI tools that do very specific work. Going to healthcare, AI will help us in doing very specific work because, as I said, in healthcare, it's like you're running 5 companies in one. So they're different disciplines. So there's the clinicians, there is the lab people, there is the imaging people in radiology, and also other disciplines around surgery, around the different specialties. And you can't put one AI to do all of them. So what you end up with is multiple AIs that actually do help you do most of these things. The number one or the most implementation I've seen around AI is around imaging, that is radiology. When you have your X-rays, your CT, and this is where we're having a lot of development coming in. And it's amazing how we have managed to reduce the time to report an image and the time it has taken to report even findings, and using the AI to actually accelerate finding even small tumors and small, can I call them abnormalities in images. We are hoping that this technology will move into the lab, whereby for anything that goes under a microscope or needs time to be developed can be accelerated using AI. So what does this do? It helps reduce the time it takes to diagnose a patient, right? Number two is what we are already using AI in our organization for, which is computer vision. Think of it like an agent that helps us just monitor a patient vitals. And when it does this, it helps now the caretakers document what's happening to a patient using AI. So typically, it used to be somebody looks at the patient, looks at the monitor, and writes down what's happening. Right now, that work is being done by the AI. So you can imagine we have taken about 60% of the workload or the administrative workload away from the caretaker. So now what they're left doing, they're left taking care of the patient. So, yeah.
So have you been in close proximity, or have you actually used AI yourself, or have you seen AI being used in the healthcare aspect where you've seen it's actually working and the feedback that it is giving is actually accurate?
Yes. So as I said, our ICU is AI enabled. So our patients are monitored using AI. And that does not mean we have fired everybody from looking at the patient.
AI is taking away our work.
No. What we have done is enable the caregivers to take care of the patients in a more detailed way. This has actually, we have evidenced positive outcomes in terms of how quickly the patient recovers and even a drop in the mortality rates in our ICU. So I think this is something we are going to explore more and see where else we can apply it within the organization, because we already have the technology. It's now to scale it. And I can say we have enough evidence to put more investment into it.
Do you have any biggest fear when it comes to AI in healthcare aspect?
Yes. There's something we call AI hallucination, whereby AI just goes crazy. But AI advancement has reduced these hallucinations by a great amount. And the reason why AI agents are becoming more famous is because hallucinations come with or can I call it generalistic AIs, whereby it has this wide field of knowledge. Then it just gets input from random places. But an AI agent is for something very specific. For example, if it's for the radiology or the ICU, it only knows this is the field of knowledge I'm playing with. So it doesn't have any external input to make it hallucinate. So it's, can I say, it's expertise.
So it's something that can be worked on.
Yes, and we have seen actually positive results by using specific agents.
The AI that you are integrating in your organization, is it an AI that you trained yourself, or it's an AI that you got from?
Yes, we partnered with a vendor, and they're called Cloud Physician, and yeah, so they are the ones who have trained the AI. Of course, we also have our own work to make sure that what it's reporting is what is actually going on. We just don't blindly trust it, and it's that's why we are not using it for disease prediction or to guide us on how to take care of the patient. We're using it more for ensuring it takes a load of the admin work. For the next part of predictive and using it for diagnosis and helping us treat the patient more, I think that's a bigger part of the solution. I can say it's very far in development, but yes, it's in the pipeline.
How was your first experience using it?
To be honest, when we first deployed it, our main objective was patient care and making sure that we understand what's happening to the patient continuously. Because you see, with human care, somebody needs to go for a break. If one patient has an issue, a lot of focus goes to that patient and moves away from other patients. And with that, you get like gaps that needed to be closed. So that's what we were hoping it will come. So it did that and actually exceeded that. So now not only do we know what's happening with each patient, even if we have an issue in our ICU, it doesn't mean that they are unmonitored patients, as people are focusing on one patient. It means that we continuously have data of what's happening to the other patients that we can always get alerts on. It actually generates for us alerts on something that has happened with any patient.
That is incredibly amazing. I am fascinated by it. And how did the people in your organization embrace it?
The team in our ICU department love it now.
Love it now.
At first, it was one of those. So, what are they trying to do? What is it trying to do? What is happening here? But I think we did our change management very well, because we actually flew out one of their doctors to come actually sit in with the team and just show them their cases, the different cases they have done. And it was interesting when it's a human, somebody who's an SME, subject matter expert, explaining to another human what this tool has helped him as an expert to achieve. So even for them now, they're like, okay, now bring it.
That's great. Patience. If you are suffering from any disease, start seeing some of the hospitals that you need to be visiting. Now we've reached that amazing part where you get to tell us about the award that you won in 2024, and what if you're explaining to someone who has never heard about the CIO award, what would you tell them the CIO is all about?
The CIO award, it's a recognition of using of technology to impact. Yeah? So when I won the award, I think it was a very big surprise to me, because I've seen what other tech leaders have done, the amount of investment they have done, the amount of can I call it teams, the big teams that they have done this with, and to be honest, throughout the whole event, I was in awe of what everybody was doing. And I was coming to take notes and learn. And so when I won the award and everybody was, can I say, telling me that this is what you have done, this is what we have seen you do. And I was like, oh yes, I've been doing some of these things.
What did you do?
So the award-winning project was our patient kiosk, whereby, like you said, you don't like the signing. Yeah. So since our cash patients don't need to sign, and we also have our own healthcare products, since those ones don't need to sign, we have automated that part that bypasses you from visiting our front desk. So you go, put in your name. If you've been there before, you put in your number, and it will automatically create you in our system and fast track you to our triage. So the only reason why we can't do it for the insurance is the signature.
Okay. I get that part now.
We are in conversation with insurance companies, and a lot of them are interested in actually having their patients fast-tracked the same way we do with other patients. Because I think it's more of the patients who are asking, well, I came before that person, but I'm seeing him in front. What happened? And you have to explain to them why. And I think they have given the pushback to the people who are covering them. Like, no, when I go to Avenue, I want to be on that VIP line. So yes. So the impact of that is number one, quick turnaround time for patients. Number two, our front desk team. So people, once again, like you, who don't like that signing. If you have any other difficulty that with your cover or something else needs to be addressed, they can do that value work. Because think of it from their perspective, 80% of the people who come in, it's the same thing, same process. It's only like 20% that I need to call your insurance, I need to call ABCD, I need to help you do something so that we take care of you. So we pride ourselves in giving value, not just giving a service and bill you. We pride ourselves in giving value and taking care of our patients. And it's something that we are going to progress on, and hopefully maybe in this year we can go beyond our triage and just automate also triage.
That's actually nice. You know how excited I am to actually hear that we have technology in healthcare that is actually in use. You know, we have technology in healthcare. That is a fact. Yes. But is it in use? That is always the question. But with the fact that it is in use in your company, organization, it is amazing. So, of course, being the award winner 2024, all eyes are on you. What are you planning for us this year?
So my big agenda will be ensuring that the tech community, the convergence of tech community and what we are doing for the population at large. We are talking about accessibility, we are talking about awareness, we are talking about skilling, we are talking about being able to bypass, can I call them quote unquote gatekeepers, and have everybody just come into the foray and then be able to achieve, can I say, what the big guys are achieving at a smaller scale, and being able to scale that to where the big guys are. One of the things I've found, or one of the opportunities I've seen in the Kenyan market is the small, can I call them businesses? Yeah. So they limit themselves because their vision is you have to make a big investment in IT for you to get up there with the big boys. But with cloud, with expertise, these young people being able to spin up services that help the actual businessman to do most of these things. If there's awareness that actually somebody in a shop in Moy Avenue can have a full enterprise system and be able to be supported by, I can say, a local IT support guy. Yeah. So thereby you're keeping the money, can I say, in Kenya, because you're buying services in Kenya, you're supporting a local skills person, IT skills person, and it's not costing you an arm and a leg. It's not a big part of your budget. So I think it's something that we need to look at and have technology become part of Kenya.
But how best do you see that working? Because I'm going to give an example of, for example, cloud providers.
Yes.
Let's give an example of AWS. And maybe I come up with my own company. Mm-hmm. Let's call it maybe Kemuma Company.
Yes.
And I'm also providing cloud. And I'm going to people and telling them that this is what I do, this is what I do. Who do you think people are going to likely support there?
So, yes, I get your argument. You need a name.
Yes. that I feel like that is one of the major problem we have in the IT space, the tech space.
So, a few things. Number one, the government is already starting to pull out policies on some of these things. And once you see the government getting involved in the making policies, there are two ripple effects. Number one, there'll be investments being made inside the country. Number two, there'll be promotion of having accessibility for already existing assets in Kenya. And I can tell you there are enough cloud providers in Kenya to sustain whatever compute we need in Kenya. So there are very many local service providers, whether they're big names or somebody who just has pinned up their own little solution in a small cloud. There are enough solutions that can be provided within Kenya. So my hope is some of this policy, we just had the cloud policy being published. There's the digital healthcare one that is specifically for me, that's telling me what's going to happen. And when I start seeing some of these things, the next thing I'm expecting to see is the level of investments coming in, both from private and government, going up, being able, and with more competition, prices come down. With more players in the field, value now becomes the key goal, because there'll be a time where everybody's selling the same thing.
At the same price.
At the same price. So what's your value? So to me, all these things are exciting. I know at first everything looks murky and it's cloudy, but when history has shown that whenever a particular topic is debated on or highlighted on a lot, it's accelerated and it becomes more cost efficient and more accessible to people. I mean, AI is a very beautiful topic. I don't think AI as a big topic has been for the last 3 years. that's when GPT started coming out, and everybody was like, no, this thing is going to be this, that. And then people said it was going to be expensive. And then now we have open source LLMs coming from every other quarter. So now the latest advancement I've seen is they're building LLMs that you don't need a graphics card to operate. That means you can operate it on your laptop. Yeah. So if it continues like this, it's going to be on your phone. Actually, it's on your phone. My phone did an update, I think, last week, and now the AI is on my phone. So
I also saw that but mine was in last year, the Gemini thing.
Yeah.
Just installed itself.
Yes. So the more something is highlighted, the more an agenda is highlighted on something, you'll get breakthroughs, you'll start seeing price decline, and you start seeing great accessibility to those products and services. So for me, I'm very optimistic that this is the revolution that will happen with all these things.
You've mentioned some of the policies, and I want to know if these policies are accessible to people, and the partnership between the private and the government sector. And do you feel like the government is actually supporting the private sectors when it comes to IT?
I would not look at it if the government supports something. I would like to look at it look at various products that have been there, and they have more or less been like a monopoly of sorts. But what has happened with great demand, some of these products have been either been made super accessible or super affordable to everybody. So where we are going to begin, it's going to be rough, no question about it. But with engagement, with lobbying, with a lot of research and innovation, it's going to get there. But I will not promise you it will not be day one and we are doing fireworks and having a good time. Day one will be difficult. Day two will be a bit easier, going on. And then it will be, one day will be like, how come we were struggling with this January 2025 and now it's like
flawless?
CIK is actually reviewing some of the policies, and one of the things they said is they're looking at what are the prohibitive policies that they have that are denying opportunities. So exciting things in my view.
So do you feel like the government is embracing technology?
So in the cloud policy, they talk about government cloud. And I can only relate this to the Konza data center. They have an investment in Konza.
They're trying.
So once again, the more you probe on something, the better it will get. I'm not saying they are there yet. I've not yet done an evaluation of how much the government has invested in that. But once the interest is there, once the engagement is there, and once we have, can I say, unwrapped all the layers and we start engaging them directly, I think it's going to be something that is going to be very positive for the entire nation.
So we should be expecting something amazing from your award.
Yes, I think lobbying is something that I believe for every opportunity I'll get to lobby for something, and especially, as I said, something that will give access to the youth, people who are under-resourced and want to experiment or experience some of these technologies. If I get the opportunity, that's where I'll drive it.
That's amazing. So right now, I want to know just a little bit about you. Aside from the fact that you're a tech genius, something else that I need to know that is not in relation to the tech genius. Like, do you have any hobbies?
Hobbies around tech? Maybe.
That is not a hobby. That is not a hobby.
Outside tech, I'm trying to do a lot of things that are not in confined areas. Bit of golf, going to the gym. But that's in a confined area, but it's outside. That's how I calculate it. But yes, a lot of outdoorsy activity. that take me away from screens.
Your comfort zone.
Yes, my comfort zone. And maybe what I'm trying to look for there is a reset whereby if I come back now to my machines, maybe I'll have a fresh perspective of something I'm trying to achieve, or a refreshed objective of something that maybe I was wrong on. Yeah. Something interesting that I did last year was, let's call it therapy.
Let me clap. Therapy is good.
Therapy is good. Actually, I advocate it. And it's a friend of mine who said, go for a therapy. I was like, sina mashida. It's like, yeah, therapy is not for people with problems. It's for everybody. And one of the most beautiful exercises I did was something they call the River of Life, whereby you map out what you used to like from the time you were a kid till now you're an adult. So now you're an adult, you're more confined by some structures, some beliefs, some ability. If I didn't have my job, computers would not be my first love. Maybe nitakuwa mtu wa mjengo.
Ungekuwa unapenda mawe.
Yes. So discovered a lot of things that I used to like back then. Cars. I was infatuated with movies and action movies and karate, piano, music, and I'm trying to get back into those things and rediscover the child in me, if for lack of a better word.
That's nice. So do people offer therapy at your hospital?
Yes, we
now
do.
That you've mentioned therapy is not for only people with problems, I'm thinking about it.
Yes, we do. We actually do have an application. It's called a Patient Concierge app. And what it does, it just basically gives you information on different kind of well-being, whether from mother, from mental, and general well-being. So you can download the app, and if you have any input, it's still in, can I call it in beta testing? But I've used it, and I can say I have a newborn. I used it to track what I should be looking out for my newborn, and I can say it's pretty much. Can say it's good. It's pretty much to help me guide what's normal, what's not normal, what to expect, and yeah, it's a very interesting app.
Is there a subscription required?
No, it's free.
Wow, amazing! I'm fascinated by it. It's in Play Store.
Yes, we have it in Play Store.
Amazing. I think I'll look at. I'll give a look at it. I'll give it a chance. You can give us your last words.
So I think my last words will be, I think 2025 will be one of those defining years in technology, not only in Kenya, but all over the world, because we have a lot of, can I say, industries that are taking up tech in a very major way. And there will be a lot of changes even to how we socialize and how we approach technology as an individual. Over and above that, to my fellow tech enthusiasts, young and old, just keep doing what you're doing and make this the year that we revolutionize tech in Kenya and in Africa. Yeah.
Amazing. You didn't want to send some greetings uko nyumbani?
Wow, the list will be so long.
Na utakasirikiwa. Don't say it's because of me.
But I know. Shout out to everybody at Avenue Healthcare. Shout out to everybody in my personal circles, and thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. I can say you have been my backbone. I think being in these spaces has been through the effort of the people around me.
Oh, thank you so much, Geoffrey, for making time to come in our morning show.
Thank you.
And for those who don't know who we have with us in studio, we were having our guest, Geoffrey Gitagia, who's the Group IT Manager and also the award winner CIO 2024. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.